Just test a little bit if you understand what this is. So point your finger there so I can see. Everybody, point your fingers. Somewhere there. Okay? That's where you are. And it's not really, I try to find a kind of a polite way to say this, but I can't. I say that it's not a good place to be. Okay? So, because this means that Chile has you have a twin challenge. Quality challenge that most people here try to work out, but you also have the equity challenge at the same time. And quality challenge is what I mostly hear here when the politicians tell me what they try to do. This equity challenge is much less discussed. Most people don't really, sometimes people tell me that if you speak about equity here or in the United States that you're a socialist. Some people in America, they tell me that I'm a communist when I speak about equity in education. I said, you know what, it doesn't matter how you call me as long as I know that it's good for children. And I can tell you one thing, that equity in education has nothing to do with the political ideology whatsoever. Because now we are speaking about data, we are speaking about evidence. 20 years ago it was more about politics. I understand that some people politically were interested in some of these aspects, but not anymore, because now what you see here has nothing to do with ideology or politics. This is data. You can believe it or you can ignore it, I don't care. I'll just show you what it is. This is where the United States is. Okay? So America is very close to the national average over there, which is amazing. Given the country is 320 million people, a huge diversity and inequalities there. But their public system is doing a lot of things to overcome these inequalities that children bring with them to school every day in America. Okay? And this is where Canada is. Wow! You know how we call this place here? This place is called heaven. Heaven is the place where equity and high achievement learning outcomes meet simultaneously. Okay? This is Australia, this is United Kingdom or England if you wish, and these are the other OECD countries. And you see immediately one interesting thing is that there seems to be a kind of a statistical dependency between equity and quality, right? We are all professionals, so we know that if you have this type of pattern here, if you ignore this Norway, Iceland, Italy, even Sweden and Turkey, just take those guys away, we have a very clear correlation there. Okay? So there's a correlation between equity of the education system and quality, for example. Right? Again, it doesn't mean that there's a causation. There's a correlation that indicates that there may be something, that these two important aspects of the education system have some further connection, right? Am I right? Yeah, okay, good. So, this is where Chile is, and if Chile wants to go to heaven, there is this thing called, it's almost like a stairway to heaven. So you have to climb this stairway. Do you remember this song?
All that glitters is gold, and she's buying the stairway.
So you have to climb these stairs, and that means that in this country, if I just look at the data in this graph here, it means that you have to work equally hard on equity, enhancing equity in this system, than you work on quality. Equity is much more difficult because people don't really know what it means, what is there. We often ask, where is Finland? This is where Finland was in 1972, just before this reform started to roll out. And Finland was very close to where Chile is right now. So we had a huge issue with equity because of the structure, this early selection and segregation, and also issue with the quality, mostly because of the segregation, but also because of the teacher education. If you look at this Finnish flag there, I'll show you what has been the Finnish way during the last 40 years. Okay? So be careful there, because there are many ways to heaven. You can climb these stairs, or you can just go here, or you can take some other way. But this has been the Finnish way. And this shows you that the first 2 decades, 70s and 80s, were the decades of building equity in the system. So that's where we introduced the special education, early childhood programs, and we maintained the school meals and health and well-being services in all the schools, and many other things that were critical in making sure that every child has a good school, that they are ready to learn. Okay? So these are some of these usual references that we use, and you hear often that Shanghai, Singapore, and Hong Kong, these Asian tigers should be like a models for Chile, Finland, or other countries. I don't think so. I think that